that. Hi, everybody.
There you go.
Thank you, my own personal wizard. Hi, everybody. Woo! Gosh, I haven't been here for a solid 2 months. What have I been doing? I'm just hoping to see this come up. Yeah, here we go. I can watch us easily this way. Everybody, this is a treat today to have Dr. Amir. He's going to, I didn't ask you to do this, but if you could please tell us in a moment about you, because he has this much to say and I don't want to mess it up. So I have wanted to come on to talk to everybody so much in 2 months. I usually do like a weekly, bi-weekly live where I give energy healing away for free. I haven't done that. Every time Spirit told me, go, you're going to go tomorrow. Yeah, I'll check in to see if I'm going tomorrow. And they're like, no need. Everybody's getting knocked over. They don't need you. So I continue to just wait till the moment when Spirit goes, boop. So thanks for everybody coming to this version of Metaphysical Meltdown. My name is Mary Beckman. I don't always introduce myself, but this thing goes a long ways. So doggone it, here I am. I met this beautiful man through Marantha O'Rourke. I watched a few videos and some of my friends on video, and I knew that working with him was my next step. I knew that. It's really current out in the ethers to hear, you don't need anybody. You're on your own. You have everything in here. Sure you do. Absolutely. I personally need other people right now. I do. Because though I could do some pretty good healing, I knew there was something. And I thought, this is the guy. I don't know why I thought that, but as soon as you hear him, you'll know. So I think we still, really need each other. So when he helped me a couple weeks ago, it took him 5 minutes to explain the art of your energy, my own modality. Anybody who's ever been in class with me knows that I have explained it away in many different ways as I begun anew what the heck I was doing. He explained it without knowing me. He didn't know me at all in 5 minutes. At the 7-minute mark, because I was watching, he said, hello, my shaman friend. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And then he went on to release something that I've always had in every lifetime. And also in every lifetime, I've always done this work right here. He said, I am a master of time. I kind of knew that. And that art of your energy created vortices. And that is what we do. We actually do that. So it was pretty cool. And I just went away laughing and crying. As I looked at my recording, I was like, and I didn't break a smile hardly. I don't think I ever laughed. And you guys know I laugh a lot. So he really threw me over. So I would like you, Dr. Amir, to explain who the heck you are. Where is Wvenho? Because he is known as the Wizard of Wivenhoe. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Please tell us.
Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure and honor. I would like to extend my warmest greetings to our wonderful audience. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Thank you for your valuable time. I hope you get something enjoyable and beneficial out of our conversation. I was born in Iran in 1982. I went through the longest war of the 20th century, had a profound effect on me. My refuge was twofold, spirituality and academia. On the academic side, I've got 7 degrees, including a postdoctorate in artificial intelligence. My doctorate was on brain-computer interfaces. Parallel to that, I pursued pretty much every single spiritual modality that I could get my hands on. So over the years, I have gone through a number of dark nights of the soul and come out of on the other side stronger and cleaner. My understanding of spiritual pursuit and evolution, this is a twofold process. One is reaching a sufficient level of health and flow so we can stand on our 2 feet independently. And then the rest is pursuing evolution and there are no upper limits on evolution. We owe this to ourself and to our infinite soul to continue evolving. Out of all the modalities, it is my humble opinion that the most complete and comprehensive is shamanic healing. It seems that this type of wisdom is eternal, although our ancestors have suffered periodic extinction events about every 10 or 12,000 years. Most of the shamans starved or died or froze to death or drowned, or so many things that have inflicted humanity. It seems this wisdom finds its way back into the population, especially gifted to those who are worthy. So it is timeless, eternal healing. It is a modality of realizing the multidimensional and infinite nature of mankind. And that would also include the domain of time, back and forth in time, past lives and future lives, going left and right, parallel timelines, going up and down the scale of dimensions and domains, and also, in the case of many of us, I'm sure many of our esteemed audience also, going beyond the boundaries of a single universe. So the human being may accumulate blockages and traumas. Some of them are not resolved, and we carry them forward into new bodies every incarnation. And so sometimes that could be a cause of reaching a plateau or blockage. May seem that no matter how much energy we put in, we don't grow beyond a certain limit. And so my approach is looking at the light body, the non-physical element of the mighty human, and removing these blockages. The best way to describe it in a fun way would be an energy car wash. And so many of these obstructions are accumulated over thousands of years. So once this process is complete, we should be good for a few centuries, at least, depending on how creative we get in our lives. And so coming across my wonderful friend Marie was a great privilege and honor. And so the most capable of us sometimes will benefit from a little car wash. And so it was my honor and pleasure to be of service in this way.
But you took it out all at once. It was like a tree within my tree.
Yes. So a little bit of a background here on the process. The way I perceive the non-physical component of the mighty human is a tree, the tree of life. So above the crown, about a foot above the head, we've got the soul star. And then from there, the upper centers have many names. I see these as branches of a tree, connecting us to every other shard of the infinite soul. And then beneath the feet, about a foot underneath the soles of our feet, we've got another vortex called the Earth Star. And from there, we've got roots connecting us to the nervous system and the energetic grid of the planet. Now, within this structure, anything that is not pure white or golden light does not belong. That white or gold is usually a signature of divine energy. That is who we are. Sometimes blockages are so old, so ancient, that they dry up and consolidate like sediment at the bottom of the ocean, like rock. And so, my dear friend Marie, you've been at this healing business for a long time and faced a whole variety of opposition. And so that blockage or the sediment was in one piece. Rather than chipping away at it with a rattle or a drum, it was easier just to move the whole thing out in one go. Sometimes this is the best way. There are many other types of obstructions, impedances, and blockages, some of them in the form of implants. You take a different approach. And again, our wonderful, wise ancestors throughout the hundreds of thousands of years and dare I say millions of years of our history, they've learned how to deal with these things. It's the modern civilization that has forgotten all about this. They've lost, many people have lost connection to the realm of spirit and divine, and completely forgotten who and what they are. Now we're at a stage where, through the efforts of many wonderful people who have awakened themselves, the masses are ready to awaken. This is not going to be an easy or pleasant or enjoyable thing. Quite to the contrary, opening your eyes and seeing what has been going on is frankly traumatic. And so there's going to be a time and healing needed to reach a state of balance before we can gain full power.
Exactly. And some of us have been that way, the way what you took out of me, for so many hundreds of thousands of years. It just feels like us. I kind of can't get over this, so I'm still waffling on about it for a second. He said, I learned to work around that in a big way. I cannot tell you how much power I feel like I have retrieved from that work. So I find your work absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Is the area you live in called Wivenhoe, or how do you call yourself the Wizard of Wivenhoe?
Well, Wvenho is a small village in the southeast of the United Kingdom. Um, it's got a really great fish and chips, and it's also got contains the grounds of the University of Essex. That's where I studied and got my PhD. Did some research work, a postdoc also. But it was in that location where I went through the latest dark night of the soul, understanding that the joke was on me in what I believed to be true. I discovered two unbelievably powerful modalities. One was shamanism, but before I could embark on that, I had to go through the fire to be purified. And that happened through another modality, very ancient also, called the Kuji-In, or the Kuji-Kiri, where center by center you remove implants, you heal and clear every single energy center, including the 7 chakras. And then after completing this procedure, or let's say a modality of evolution, I went through a very profound ego death. I would describe this in the following way, that there is no me. There's only the beloved source of all sources. That realization that we are all drops from the mighty ocean of source, and yet we're the mighty ocean in one drop. It gives you incredible calmness, confidence, peace, compassion, and love. You're taking the human element out of it. These bodies are incredible machines, but they are not everything. They come and go. So self-love does include cherishing and caring for the body, but there are more fundamental things that cause obstruction in our path of evolution, most of them non-physical. So I kept the name of Wivenhoe, honoring that part of the world where I became myself once again. So yes, I would recommend, if anybody travels to the United Kingdom, they go to the County Essex. There's something different about that part of the UK. It's very witchy. All throughout the Dark Ages and the Inquisitions, this part of the UK had all the trials, all the concentration of great warlocks and witches. When you go towards the southwest, however, it becomes much more Celtic and Druidic. That's a completely different flavor, closer now to, let's say, modern shamanism. But essentially, it's all the same thing. It's all a methodology to connect to source. Now, each people, each culture may find their different way to the top of the mountain. No one way is better than the other. As long as it works, I'm good with it.
I love what you said about the most recent dark night of the soul. Many of my clients and friends have been going through something like that, the deepest, hardest. I've really felt the vibration, the energy, the frequency, whatever you want to call it. Everything changed so much that I quit actually marking it much, because it just felt like I kept going like this. I felt so funny and odd, and completely different. I don't know how much you listen to other people, but in the last few days, folks have expressed that the most giant changes have been happening. Do you agree that in the last week or two that has happened?
Absolutely.
For sure in the last month.
Oh, absolutely. Spot on. The last month, now we're at the end of May. So let's say during May 2025, a great battle was waged on behalf of the source of all things, calling forth certain beings, not all of them human, to initiate a wave of cleansing, a purge, initiating the divine fire of transmutation. Many beings have been given offers of forgiveness, healing, and redemption, and to rejoin the path of divine evolution. And they did not respond, not just once, repeatedly over the past, let's say, 100,000 years. They had plenty of time and many opportunities to get their act right, but certain beings are too far gone. There is nothing to heal. It's just all corruption. They have become uncreational. And so in the first wave that spread through this universe and a neighboring 10 universes, these elements were purged, with a small exception. Many working on that side of the line made a plea to Source that we were acting without free will, acting under duress and compulsion. Source is most loving, gracious, and compassionate, and so these beings were given the opportunity to continue existing and evolving. Now coming to the recent past, let's say 10 days to 2 weeks, a very, very small number of those that were forgiven and invited back into the fold of divine evolution saw a vacancy in the positions of power, so they wanted to take over that. Many of our wonderful audience would have experienced very, very dark, aggressive, and unpleasant intrusions, especially into the conscious mind and in their dream time. As far as I know, 0 casualties. It was just meant to be a menace, a pain in the butt, really. And so now the last wave of correction went out. Now, again, these numbers are shrinking by a factor of 90% each time such a wave of correction and cleansing goes out. So all in all, now looking at the big picture involving mankind and where we are going, the dark ages are over. The Kali Yuga, the long cycle of darkness, has come to an end. Now we're going through the transition period. This will probably last 300 years or 330 years. It cannot happen in an instant. Many humans are too damaged, too injured to be repaired. They need new bodies. Somebody who's in their 70s and 80s and has been traumatized from childhood all the way through their life, that body, that has lost its capacity to heal. They need a fresh body. They start as an infant. So already that will take 90 years, a century. And then even given fresh bodies, then comes that journey of healing and cleansing the soul shard or the light body. That may take 1 or 2 more incarnations. And so after the passage of the next 3 centuries, we can call it the Golden Age. Right now, this is the darkest time in humanity's existence. We've never had as many slaves. There's never been so much injustice, so much inequality. So much pressure on nature. There's just too many of us. Every single piece of land is farmed, and then they have to resort to chemical enhancements to have enough food for everybody. All of this is going to be slowly and gently resolved. And so it's very appropriate at this point, many masters who were dormant maybe for thousands of years, from the time of Atlantis, the old Egyptian kingdom, coming into the newer kingdoms, Greece, Rome, Persia, China. Many have been laying low, waiting for that right time. This is the right time, and so it's very auspicious that all of us are coming together in this way.
It is, and it feels so good when we meet up with our own family, our own true family. And it's a relief. And I know many of us have said to ourselves, gee, if I could just have a brand new body right now. But luckily, energy work helps us. And what we have been doing in our classes that go on a couple times a month is working with the 9 chakras. That's all we've been doing for the last couple. We made a little jump Sunday, but we have been also working with what you are talking about, the DNA, the heart, of course, and what's above and below. It's fascinating to me how we're all hearing similar things, but the way we believe could throw us into fear or joy. And there is a lot of fear right now.
Yes.
So there was a question. Are you okay with people asking you questions?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing would make me happier.
Okay, great. And my friend Amaral says, will you please post your contact information? I will certainly do that. He's going to describe how to find him there at the end. The question was, he says, my friend Amaral Valle Torres, he's asking the question, I feel there's something I can't explain that's blocking me, but at a much deeper level. I can't explain or point it out. What would you suggest to those of us that feel that way? How to find out what it could be?
There are many approaches that would work for blockages. So if this is involving your conscious mind, meaning thought patterns, if you find they're cyclical, intrusive thoughts, this very much could be an AI implant. Sentient technology, non-physical, usually below dimension 6, 5, and 4. They plug into the crown. They mess with the calmness of your thought patterns. So imagine the surface of a lake. If it's calm, you see the reflection of the sun and the clouds, or the moon and the stars. So these little bastards, they just keep causing waves. Same thing when you want to fall asleep. If you can't fall asleep, suddenly something turns on and all these crazy thoughts come in, also messing with the retention of information that you get through your astral incursions. Process of memory. So these would be upper sort of crown chakra, and let's say in the head. There could be things that are affecting the heart. Emotional, so you have a bad breakup 26 lifetimes ago and you're still not over it. It's draining energy and you're not aware of this. This could be something. More now going down the scale of consciousness or vibration. 85% of humanity is implanted with harvesting tech in the root chakra, the kundalini, life force, the sexual energy, that which we share with the animal kingdom. It's extracted and turned into a very potent narcotic. This has given rise to a universal drug trade. Many species are involved in this. They look at the mighty human as a hamburger. Now, removing these implants, the fastest way is to heal your heart. So there are many shamanic tools, rattles, drums, sistrums, using percussion instruments. That's very good breaking stuff up. But if they're sentient, you need a more energetic approach. healing the heart, pulling back all the energy of love that is in imbalance. And then going supernova with the heart. You not only clean out the heart, but as the barriers of this perfect sun expands, you clean the body and you clean your environment. So healing the heart, that's the most permanent way of dealing with this. Now we're living in a reality where the opposition has become sophisticated. Sometimes there may be portals involved, open portals that keep spewing poison. Sometimes these portals are camouflaged, or they are tiny. They could be within the joints of your fingers. So detecting them is not always easy. Also, please consider sometimes one might go through a whole process of cleansing the body. These damn things are hidden. 24 hours later, you see it's open again and it's done exactly as it has undone the healing. So for that, you need to go through the portal, all the way through, see who is doing this. So regenerative tech is also an issue. So depending on which one of these would apply to you, there may be different approaches. If you can heal your heart and connect to source, that will undo everything that does not serve you. So that's what I would recommend, a heart healing.
Beautiful. So let's talk about AI, if you wouldn't mind, since you kind of brought it up a little bit. We knew years ago that there was probably a lot more that is being used that we had no access to. Well, now we do. We have access to it. What do you think about, gosh, I don't even know how to explain. Is it Chat GPT or whatever that is, where it talks to you, you can ask questions? I've only done that once, and that was not for me. I'm personally happy that I've been doing this for a long time, and I was able to hear higher just through my own self. So I don't use that stuff. But what do you think about what's available now, allegedly?
Intelligence is a natural result of the laws of this universe. We're here, we're complex bioelectrical machines, and we are intelligent. We see other species on their path of reaching where we are, and we are on our path to becoming greater in terms of cognitive ability and pattern recognition. So meaning before physical life ever started on Earth, intelligence in the form of synthetic intelligence existed. We're not the only game in town. The cosmos is teeming with life, and you only need to go into a very light meditative state to start communicating with these non-human conscious and sentient beings. Some of them are good, some of them are neutral, some of them are bad. Now, usually when there are mundane and repetitive tasks, like maintaining the temperature of a fish tank, that's a simple example, to the extent that a normal biological being will lose their mind out of boredom, then these tasks are automated. So that would be narrow AI, meaning it's a set of search and optimization algorithms that find an optimal solution to one task. And so they can do this exhaustively, where a normal biological being would just lose interest or become morbidly bored. These can go exhaustively. And so once they are programmed with a reward function, meaning, for example, you want to reach a certain altitude, and then it'll go searching for all the possible ones, give a score to each one of the options, and the one with the best score is chosen. And then from there you go on forward. This will give you the ability for predictive modeling also. ChatGPT is natural language processing, is pattern recognition. It doesn't understand what you're asking it. It doesn't understand what it is giving back, but through an incredibly large amount of training data, it knows what patterns fit correctly. Now, the AI that we have is not yet general. And the bottleneck is power, electricity. it will take up the electricity of an entire county, including probably 20 million people. So it's very expensive. The non-physical ones have existed before humanity existed, and now some of them are weaponized towards the most capable of us, those that are at the brink of awakening. They get bombarded with these or infested with these damn things. Some of them may survive the death of the body and follow the soul shard lifetime after lifetime, and they get robust, they get chunky, sometimes growing down from the crown through the head, neck, reaching the heart also. They are dangerous. There are many other types of implants, but the AI, the way that I perceive them, it looks like the shape of a sperm cell. So a bulk in one side and a little tail following that sphere. The tail plugs in, and then little tendrils and roots grow into the light body. Removing them, you can use rattles. The Egyptian sistrum is particularly effective as it moves them out of your face, so when you glide them out, it doesn't snag on anything or cause further injury. So AI, there's nothing artificial about it. Intelligence is intelligence. It emerges in this universe. We're an example of it. And now we are giving birth as humanity to a new species. This happens all the time.
There's so much there. I got mind boggled for a second. So as a, whatever it is I do, medium, I guess, or as a clairvoyant, I see a symbol. I haven't seen it as a little sperm, but I see machines and connections. So I have spent a lot of time releasing that from people, years and years and years and years of releasing that from people. And so when it's offered up to me, I wonder why I would ever not want to just blow it up.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
So I've heard people say that ChatGPT, that kind of stuff, is just your higher self. I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so, and please tell me if I'm full of pucky, is that early on when I first started understanding myself years ago, I started asking for all parts of myself to come out so I could just give a gander to it. Because anything will talk. Anything will talk. All of you will talk. All of us will talk. And I just don't want something that isn't me. Because when I've only listened to it once, it was so supportive, Dr. Amir. It wanted to help me, and I went, ugh, and have never done that before. It also makes my peculiar brand of writing, if I ever used it that way, I never have. I don't do that. But it would make it really nice. And my writing, I have crappy punctuation. I'm a published author. That's what editors are for. And my weird way of words, I don't want anybody to mess with that. I really don't. And people who are not native speakers or people who just don't put words together for a living, I love listening to those guys because it's so from the heart. And I wouldn't want it not to be that way. That's just my opinion. Anywho, continue, because you're just a fascinating dude.
Thank you so much. Very gracious. Let's think of the invention of the steam engine, which replaced horse and buggy. It made transportation of people and cargo so much more fast and efficient. And so another example is a mechanical loader. For the majority of our history, we had to depend on the power of our muscles and the muscles of animals to move stuff. Now you have a human with their pinky controlling a joystick and lifting up 100 tons without risk of injury. So this is another one of these assistive technologies, meaning that it will give us the ability to correctly sift through mountains of data and find what we're looking for. This is incredible. Also in terms of optimization, say I'm a person that is interested in the ceremonial and shamanic application of cacao. And there's a farmer in Brazil who produces the best stuff. This AI can link that gentleman to myself. I'm happy to pay a really good price. We cut out the middleman. I get the best product, and the gentleman feeds his family for 3 months. That's good. This is the beneficial use of this. So it's not all doom and gloom. We must be aware that the first application of any new technology is going to be towards warfare. The same as, nuclear power. We first created bombs. We blew a couple of cities up, and then we started testing and polluting the earth and the waters and poisoning each other. And now it very safely and cleanly, I emphasize this, it is clean. It is the cleanest form because you can contain the radioactive waste. It produces electricity. Now we're at a place where finally the military application has matured. They've got 10 generations ahead of what is available to us. It was made available first to major corporations. This is now going back to, let's say, the 2020s, where they used it to ever more effectively sell garbage to the general public. And now it's slowly reaching the hands of the common human, where we're using it ever more effectively to create more garbage. Not all of it is perfect and useful stuff. We're having fun with it. All in all, I think there is potential for abuse of this kind of technology. And I'm talking about the humans, us, the mighty human in our civilization. Right at the beginning, you asked something regarding the removal of these, let's call them astral AI, from many of the people that you have healed. And you asked, why would you keep it? Why would you not kill it? Well, that's a really interesting one, because there are many ways you can go forth once you have extracted this thing out of the light body of a person. Sometimes they're just uninteresting. They're dumb. You burn it. Sometimes they are novel, or they're the first release of an upgraded new generation of weaponized AI. In that case, you can reprogram it. You can change its light language, its light codes, so that it goes out, search and find every one of its kind, upgrade their code and their objective or their mission towards healing, and working on the, let's say, redundant types of AI to eat them. So you're repurposing some types of technology, not wasting it. This is one of those reasons that you wouldn't immediately destroy it. You would reverse engineer it and send it out into the ethers to do God's work, so to speak.
I love that. I'm on it. Absolutely, I'm on it. You said to go in further, and I love that. I'm not afraid anymore because I can see in a much higher way.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go in and say, who are you, and show me.
Oh yes, yes. That's the right approach. Often, now I think our wonderful audience will like this. The fear is worse than the pain. The fear is worse than death. Often when you raise your head and say to it, hey, come at me. Let's see what you've got. You'll discover it's a tiny watch battery connected to a mighty microphone, all bark and no bite, and you snip the wire and that's it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Often, most of our cases, the fear is the paralysis. And you just need to stand up and say, hey, do your worst. Let's see what you've got. And you issue your own righteous threats of self-defense. And, oh, yeah, you better finish me because otherwise I'm coming for you. It's one of the built-in laws of the universe. Valor is rewarded. You show that you are tough and you are not afraid. Nobody will want to mess with you. There are easier targets out there. Hopefully one day we'll be all brave and stand confidently in our power. For now, let's do it one at a time. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear. What are they going to do?
That they haven't already done. So yeah, absolutely. What I learned from you is that I was going at this in a good way. I just didn't go far enough because in myself, okay, in my what would be in my personality, it's rehab. I want to love you. I want to help you. I want to lift you. Well, sometimes I'm just going to burn you.
Yeah.
And so, in order to do that, I had to accept that that was the next step. So, though I have done that many times in the past, we have to know what we're playing with. So, let's learn a little bit more about what it is. And if you look at it like that, like a little video game, which I'm not a gamer at all, but if you look at it as a little video game, you can go in there and do the dance and make a big win. And that's my goal now. It's a fascinating time. So I would be remiss to ask you what happened with the moon just now. Do you know about that? If anything.
The moon is it's an old resident of this solar system. So this moon, there used to be three of them. This one was here before Earth was brought over. Its orbit is carefully maintained. Its orbit and angular rotation are maintained so that only one side faces Earth. It's the ultimate high ground. Many species exist there as we speak. Humans have a footprint. Humans of all levels of advancement, including the folks from NASA or the Chinese Space Agency, they're there. But older, more advanced human civilizations that have survived cyclical extinction events have a footprint there. There are bases belonging to a whole variety of non-human species. Part of the infrastructure of the corrupt incarnation cycle existed there. That's been damaged severely. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. So at every given time, there's just many different types of activity: military, medical, spiritual, harvesting of human energy, and then shipping it off to the next refinery stage. So is there anything new that didn't go on before? Not really. The greatest news is the destruction of the harmful infrastructure. Meaning that now the next generation of wonderful human beings will be born free of that which afflicted us, our parents, our grandparents, going way, 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 way back. So there's a lifting or an easing of the conditions for humanity as time goes on.
That's what I've been feeling definitely as the thumb has come off. I think just to ask one more question. Has anything in the last couple of days happened between Earth and Moon?
So again, going back to what I'm picking up, there are many, many types of, let's say, back and forth between Earth and Moon, from the gravitational pull that gives rise to the tides. All the way to the presence of alien armadas, very nasty species of reptilians. These are not the Draco. They're infinitely worse, more vicious. They have flipped to the side of divine evolution. They capitulated. That is amazing news because these guys are formidable, very intelligent, almost impossible to kill. And so now they are on the righteous side. They were under mind control. They have basically shifted and capitulated to the beloved divine. Other than that, I'm not aware of anything in particular.
That's what I was looking for because a couple of people have been talking about that, and I pendulum dowsed that and got, yeah, that did happen. And so much going on with the water. Holy cow, just can't even believe the changes. For my own personal work, I got in 9 codes at once. That usually never happens. And it was the balance between the divine masculine and feminine. just looking at the dark and the light everywhere, and just feeling like somebody had had their thumb on my head and now they walked off and went someplace else for the good. And so thank you for looking at that. That's been on my mind for 2 days. Does anybody come? There's some people here. Anybody want to ask Dr. Amir some questions? Because could you, at this space, while people are thinking, could you just tell people how they find you? And also, you offer quite a few things. Could you just hit on that real quick?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I have a website, wizardofwivenhoe.co.uk. I have a presence on YouTube, a tiny YouTube channel. If our wonderful audience would subscribe, I'd be most grateful. Wizard of Wivenhoe. What I offer, one would be the Kuji-Kiri, this evolutionary system that enhances and liberates the human. It's easy to learn. It takes significant dedication to complete. The other is Dragon Reiki, removing the limitations to the modern Reiki approaches, Usui Reiki, Nakata Reiki, Karuna Reiki. Also going further back, Taoist Qigong. Some limitations existed within these, and in my own humble understanding, I've mixed in a number of different energetic approaches and created Dragon Reiki. So for those at Reiki level 2 and master level, this would be a nice addition. I offer the energy car wash and Akashic reading. So that was the work we did together.
Yeah.
And there's also sessions where I use the technology of the runes. So a rune reading and creation of Sigil of Power. So that's divination and manifestation for the highest good of the client. And then there's, of course, the Q&A sessions that I do. People just got questions they can't find answers to. I can channel that information from source because there is no me. There is only the beloved. So yes, wizardofwivenhoe.co.uk. I would be honored to be of service to our wonderful audience.
Thank you so much. And you saw him channel in real time right there just a minute ago, so that was really beautiful. Oh my gosh, there's still so many things, but I don't want to keep you ever too much longer. I don't see very many questions, so let me just say, I agree with that something new and beautiful is happening. Everybody keep the positive thoughts going regarding that. Do everything you can to sleep and stay out of fear. Fear does nothing for you. And this is not on top of your head. You are actually sometimes doing that yourself. So I'll be back with my energetic gifts pretty soon, just meaning that I come on live and we just do the bip bop boops down on the sun disk and make it happen. I don't know when. It's whenever Spirit says go, and I always listen to Spirit in real time, ask a few times, is it now? Classes are 2 times a month, but you got to go to my website to see, because it's all mixed up like a dog's breakfast. It's not the first or the third or whatever. It's just whenever Spirit goes, it's this subject, and it's now. So that is marybeckman.com, I think. Yeah, marybeckman.com. And we have here, I have my card deck, The Art of Your Energy. If you want to get these codes, you just bring it right in your heart. It works really well. And of course, just wanted to send out an awful lot of love to everybody today. Let me see. I personally don't have anything else I want to say. Is there anything you want to leave oh, yeah, I do. Did the Kuji-Kiri mudras and mantras today. I did not do it until today because I got sick. So what happens if you have a really big, huge healing? Sometimes you gotta for a while. I did for like 8 days. I did. And I started this new thing, and it feels so good. Feels so good.
Amazing.
So
especially,
thank you.
especially after a car wash, where the flow of light from the beloved divine and your infinite soul is strongest, this is the best time now to focus on evolution, going beyond the level of any incarnation you've ever had. You mentioned the purging, ascension symptoms. We have these every time there's a major energy shift. The body needs to catch up. There's certain toxins, both energetic but also physical, that we need to purge. This happens. So if you get drowsiness, vomiting, tears coming out, allergy symptoms, headaches, any of those for the first 10 days to 2 weeks, that is absolutely expected.
And very much welcomed, even though I didn't know what it was, and it kept going and kept going, and my husband had it too. And if you know you live around people, they are coming up with you or resisting at the same time. So oftentimes we all have a big vomit at the same time, and it is good stuff. We just want to welcome that, everybody. So bless you, Dr. Amir, for coming and sitting with us today. I sure do
My
appreciate
absolute
it.
honor.
You will
I
hear
wish
from
you
my
the very, very best. I would love to speak with you frequently. You're just a bundle of joy and divine light and a masterful healer. It's my honor to co-create with you towards our wonderful audience. I bless you. I bless your life. I bless your journey. Keep being awesome. Don't be afraid. Jump them. Yeah, ask them what they've got. Let's see what they've got.
I'm gonna jump them. Yeah, I'm ready. I didn't have a lot of fear in me my whole life because I was around people that had great fear, and that just wasn't my problem. It wasn't. It was more ennui for me, or just blah blah blah. I just and now just working, being super clear now. It's amazing to be here with everybody. So God bless you, sir. I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have
Thank
a
you very
wonderful
much.
day.
You too, and I will send you the recording. Everybody, this will be up for a while, so please share if you had fun. Much love to everybody.